People thought I was just making podcasts for TikTok, clipping them up, trying to go viral, trying to get my name out there. But in reality, I was gathering data from the people that are actually living it.
Is this sparkling?
Every episode, every conversation, every guest told the same story.
AutoTrader, they just strangulate you.
Yeah.
Yes, you might be different to the other dealers we've got on there, but we're going to brand you exactly the same.
So no, this moment did not surprise me. I've been documenting it for months.
I think the biggest thing about AutoTrader is the amount of data they hold.
And now the entire trade is reacting at the exact same time.
I dropped down onto the starter package, which was crazy. 4 from AutoTrader, Facebook Marketplace, social media, general platforms, 14. So value for money AutoTrader it's crazy.
The podcasts weren't random. They were a map to show the downward spiral the car industry's heading in. And today, you all finally caught up.
I mean, we can have some weeks on AutoTrader where we don't get a lead.
At first it was 1 dealer, then 2 dealers, then 10 dealers, all saying the same thing, thinking they had a unique story.
Do you like the fact that they price the cars?
No.
And suddenly I realized every single conversation was identical, even though the dealers didn't know each other. We sold more cars last month from TikTok than we did AutoTrader, first proper month on TikTok. This dealership in particular isn't even spending time on camera, and he sold 4 cars from the app in the first month. And by the looks of it, he's not even posting every single day. It's simply car reels of him just walking around the cars. It's got good covers, got good descriptions on them. That's all you need. And he's built 341 followers that are all his customers that are potentially going to buy a car in the future without spending any money on advertising himself other than getting his phone out for 5 minutes and taking a video. If you think you rely on a listing site to run your business, you are not a business, you are just an employee of AutoTrader. Rising costs.
It's like, what, $3,000 for, I think, the super package, and you only get like 12 cars.
Yeah.
And you get the free slots, but is it really free? It's like £260 per car for a month.
Less control.
They almost dictate now what a car is worth.
Dependency.
One thing I've learned, AutoTrader's crap.
And every dealer saying, I thought it was just us.
It's a ridiculous amount of money.
And then you realize the truth becomes obvious. It wasn't 1,500 dealers making 1,500 decisions, it was 1,500 dealers all reacting to the exact same pressure at the same time.
We do stand out on AutoTrader because of what we have here, like other dealers do, but it's massively diluted, whereas on socials, when you're firing these videos out, they do massively stand out.
You've got to understand the industry did not fall apart, it is synchronized.
Anyone can put their cars on AutoTrader, anybody. So it doesn't matter if you're high end, selling the best, or you're selling the worst, they're on AutoTrader. AutoTrader price mark is good, bad, poor, which is something I don't really agree with, because we prep our cars to the highest standard. What we spend on our cars is crazy, even though we're selling all the cars. Had a look at that today, we've just MOT'd and serviced the Kia Sportage. Nothing drastically wrong with it, but time you put tyres and discs and pads, it was £1,000 spend.
It makes it harder for you.
Yeah, but a lot of dealers aren't doing that. So our margins, if we have to go off the AutoTrader price markers, we're snookered.
And once you recognize a pattern, you can see exactly where it leads. Across social media, I've worked out you need to spend about £100,000 a month to beat AutoTrader's monthly viewing, which in the grand scheme of things, if they profited 400 million last year, and you get all the dealerships on your side, it's definitely not impossible. And that's exactly why this retaliation did not surprise me in the slightest. When you bite the hand that feeds you, when you poke the bear, when you get pushed into a corner for decades on end, charge more and more money with no benefit to the service or help for any of your business at all, what do you expect? There is going to be an explosion at some point, and it looks like the main factor to this, the catalyst, was Deal Builder. If you didn't know already, this is what Dealer Builder is going to do, is allow a customer to reserve a car for 21 days. And you can't do anything about it. And to all the other customers browsing for that vehicle, it's going to come up as reserved. So when you're paying your 10, your 20, your 30 grand a month bills to advertise, they're not even going to be advertised if someone's reserved them. So
Well, I don't know how you work that one out, AutoTrader, but you guys keep shooting yourselves in the foot.
Every single conversation, every single podcast I did was all leading to this point.
A lead a week.
4 leads for 300 quid.
So like that's a conversation. This is not £3,000.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, don't get us started. I'm annoyed about that. I'm really annoyed about AutoTrader.
But I'll tell you what, there was one conversation. There was one conversation that made everything click. Now, all of these podcasts I did before shed a lot of light on the situation. And it was very interesting. I could recognize the patterns, but this one conversation is from a guy who knows not just the outside of the industry, but everything that goes on within the industry.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Theo, I'm not surprised that this is happening. AutoTrader, especially the last sort of like 5 years, has seemed to be dictating to us dealers what we can and can't do. And it's always been with little changes. Changes aren't a bad thing, changes are good, okay? But they have to be calculated changes. Like, during COVID, we were all a bit scared, and AutoTrader was really nice of them around, I can't remember, I think it was around September time. They cut the prices, I think they halved the prices or something like that, but it was a really good deal. I remember at the time thinking, wow, well done AutoTrader, fair play to you. But then obviously there was costs involved with it. I don't think they did it entirely out of the goodness of their hearts. I think they did it because they thought, oh God, we're going to lose all our customers here, so we need to find an incentive to keep them. Either way, whether they did it to help us or whether they did it to help themselves, it doesn't matter. It benefited us dealers. And what AutoTrader used to do though is every December they used to put a little bit of an offer for us dealers. And what we found was, once COVID was out the way, they were trying to claw back the money that they helped us with previously. Mm-hmm. So they stopped these little offers, they stopped this, that and the other. And what they've been doing gradually, but consistently, is putting the prices up, okay? And it's now got to a point where I would say the majority of the dealers are paying stupid money. To give you an example, my bill to AutoTrader is more than £23,000 a month. Okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than £250,000 a year, and that's just me, just an average dealer in the UK.
It's a lot more than any staff member would ever get paid.
Correct. And then what you've got to remember, it's more than what I get paid. Yeah. And then when you think about it, we are probably the biggest customer,
yeah,
collectively, okay? But we don't feel like we're getting looked after. So, you know, there's no deals to be had. It's as simple as you either get on here or move on. There's no, oh yeah, we'll do you a bit of a deal because you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing the other. So it leaves a bit of a bitter taste in our mouths. The other thing is they changed things such as the price markers. Okay? When the price markers first came out, there was uproar, because it was basically AutoTrader telling us what we should sell our cars for. Now, please explain to me, how does AutoTrader work that out? Because, you know, you could have two cars that at first hand they look identical. So you could have two Audi A1s, okay? They're both 2020 models and they both have around 50,000 miles. However, one could be, it's never had paint, it's got one owner, an original, full history, absolute a gem of a car. And the other one could have 7 owners, it's had 6 panels resprayed, it's got patchy history, if any, and the general condition of the car is what we would class in the industry as a dog.
Yeah.
Okay. How can you value those two cars the same? You can't.
No. And AutoTrader, no matter how hard they try, they'd never be able to do that themselves.
Correct. It is impossible, because one car you can replace with 20 others, the other one is a 1 in 100, if you know what I mean. So that was one of the things that started, you know, rubbing us the wrong way as dealers. Then you had other things, such as you had to pay for different regions to be, you know, if you had your cars and you were in the northeast, you could pay extra money to advertise your cars up in Scotland or down in London. So anyone that was searching within a certain radius, your cars came up. Okay, that's fine. I can see a benefit of that. They didn't force that upon us. They said, right, if you want to do that, you pay us a bit extra, and we'll do that for you, which is absolutely fine. Okay, whoever wants to choose to do it, does it. Whoever doesn't do it. Now, this is the ridiculous thing that they've done with this deal builder. Not only they are going to be charging us more money, but they are not giving us the option. They're not saying, look, fair enough, we know you've budgeted this much for your AutoTrader bill. You know, if you want to pay a little bit more, you can have this deal builder, it'll do it'll help you with this, that, the other. They haven't done that. They haven't communicated that to our industry.
Yeah.
They've basically just come up and said, listen, you're going to have it as a trial to certain dealers. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's how it started. That's how it started with me. That's what they told me. I thought I had a choice. So what happened is I piloted it. So when it first came around, it came and they said, right, you can be one of the people who pilot it, you can try it, and blah, blah, blah. From the beginning, I had my reservations over it, especially the bit that they could go online, reserve it, and the car would come off your stock pretty much instantly. Then the majority of the customers you couldn't get hold of, and then fair enough, we just cancel it and just put it back on sale. But I was told at the time that it was something that we were piloting. So if I didn't want to keep it, I wouldn't have to keep it.
Yeah.
So after I think about 2 or 3 weeks, I rang the representative and I said, look, we are getting a lot of customers just reserving our cars and then we're not hearing back from them. So I'd like you to remove it. So he said, okay, no problem, we'll remove it. Yeah, they removed it. A couple of weeks later, phoned me back, he said, oh, well, I can show you certain statistics that will show that it will be a benefit to you, and blah, 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 whatever jargon you used. So the one thing that I will give AutoTrader is they've got all the data in the world.
Yeah.
They've got data to match data. And the problem that you've got there is, because they've got that much data, they can manipulate the numbers to basically show the narrative that they want. It's very easily done.
Well, I'm sure they'd be able to do that with who sees the cars as well, because they have the website, they have the data.
Correct. So after I agreed to get it back, switched back on, and I decided that it was definitely not for me, I phoned up and they said to me, look, you may as well keep it, because if you cancel it, it'll be mandatory in 2-3 weeks. Therefore, it's pointless taking it off. So I ummed and ahed, and I thought, you know what, if we can't get rid of it, let's embrace it. Now, in that time, it's been with me now for about 3 months, I would say we haven't dealt what we should have dealt. Okay, what I'm saying is we've had more cars off sale with potentially lost sales than actual dealt and delivered. Because you can deal 100 cars in a month if you want, but deliver none. It is pointless.
Yeah.
So do I agree with what they're doing? No, I definitely don't agree. I think if they give us a clear communication from the beginning, this could have gone down a lot better. Being forced to have something that potentially we don't want is what gets our backs up.
Do you think this would have happened without Deal Builder, or do you just think Deal Builder sped up the process?
That is a very good question. I can't tell you what it would have been like before Deal Builder, but I think what Deal Builder did was accelerated the frustration that us dealers have had with AutoTrader. Now you've got to also remember that one of the things that I think has affected everyone's decision is the fact that we've come off not very strong months. So I would say, well, for me personally, we've had an outstanding year, and we were averaging about 85 cars a month. Now in September, which predominantly is one of our strongest months, we ended up only doing 78.
Right.
And in October, which is predominantly a good used car month, we only did 60. Now, that to me is unacceptable. So yeah, there has been frustrations out there. There has been reasons for us to not be as happy as we normally would be. And I think the fact that it's all come into play together, because every one of my friends, all the dealers that I speak to have all said that they're following a very similar pattern with how busy it is. And the fact that the UK government hasn't gave us the budget and people just don't know what to spend yet. The people who think they've got £50,000 to spend on a new car, all of a sudden are holding back because they're like, well, after the budget I might only have £40,000, I might only have £30,000. And I think the sooner the budget gets delivered, the better. And it doesn't matter what that budget says. You know, whether it's all doom and gloom, that's fine. We are very resilient in the motor trade industry, and we will deal with it at the time. Because the man who thought he had £50,000 to buy a new car, he might not only have 20, but at least he'll go out and he'll buy a £20,000 car.
It's just the fact that no one knows.
Exactly. The unknown is what kills the economy.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to the cancellation, because this is what we're here to talk about. Okay. I think this mass cancellation, and I'm telling you now, it's gonna. Well, if it doesn't hurt AutoTrader, it will at least make them look to our direction, because we've got potentially 1,500 dealers all talking about either cancelling or reducing the packages or whatever they may do. Now, my advice to my fellow dealers is don't cut your nose to spite your face. What I mean by that is, if you go with a mentality of, that's it, I'm going to cancel AutoTrader, blah, 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 and all the rest of it, you could potentially be harming yourself, okay? Because you don't want to completely kill AutoTrader. What you want to do is, you want to have some eggs in a different basket. You know, rather than putting all your eggs into the AutoTrader basket, maybe, well, this is what I'll be doing, is I'll be reducing my AutoTrader package, and the money that I will be saving from AutoTrader, I will be investing in other sources, whether that is Car Gurus, whether it's AutoTrader, whatever it may, CarWow, ADF, it could be absolutely anything. The world's your oyster. But at least I'll put a few eggs here, there and everywhere, and I'll see which ones return me the most. And once I've decided that, right, okay, well, I've invested X amount there and it's returned me that much, and that's not returned me as much, I will then plough more money into that. And I will continuously lower my AutoTrader slots month on month on month. Now, really, after month 3, I should be able to see a pattern. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the decision to reduce AutoTrader is going to be the right decision. The pattern might tell me that I'm an idiot and I should go back to AutoTrader. And if that is the case, I will go back to AutoTrader cap in hand. Absolutely. My business is more important than my pride. However, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I really genuinely believe that your ADFs, your Car Gurus, your CarWows, your eBays, all these different platforms out there will thrive, and I think they will give you a good return for your money.
I think the big issue is no one's really had the opportunity with the size of the AutoTrader bill. They're quite scared to even try any other avenue.
I agree. It's been drummed into us for many, many years since I was a salesman that AutoTrader is where people buy cars. Now, I find that not to be true, because I have experienced before AutoTrader customers coming to buy a car, asking them where did they see the car advertised, and they've said AutoTrader. Bear in mind, at the time I wasn't an AutoTrader.
Yeah.
Therefore, that tells me that there's a misconception out there. I think people are seeing cars in different platforms, but because they associate car sales with AutoTrader, they automatically just put 2 and 2 together and get 6.
Yeah. It's more of a change in the narrative of the public in a way that they buy cars.
I agree, and this is where the cancellation comes into play again. Because let's be fair, AutoTrader aren't going to miss the car dealers' money because they've got other streams of income. You know, people can advertise on their privately. They've got their auction sites. They've got a plethora of incomes. So the car dealers, you know, money isn't going to hurt them to a massive extent.
Yeah.
But what will hurt them is the fact that we've got strength in numbers. Okay. Each dealership, well, my dealership alone has got 120 cars on there. My other dealership in Darlington, another 50. So from one person there, you've got 170 cars. Now, some dealers will be bigger, some dealers will be smaller. But even if we just work it out on, I don't know, maybe 35 cars on average per dealership, I dare say that there's over 200,000 cars from dealers advertised on their platform, and that is what they're going to be scared of losing. They will not want to lose 250,000 cars off the platform, because wherever those cars leave, they will be going to their competitors. And then all of a sudden, the customers will be like, oh, okay, well, maybe AutoTrader hasn't got as many cars as we thought.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at ADF, we'll have a look at car wow, we'll have a look at everyone else.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of noise in the background of other people trying to set up similar platforms due to this, but even ones that are investing 200, 300, 400 grand into a platform, you're never ever going to be able to beat AutoTrader's advertising budget.
I agree. Trying to compete directly with AutoTrader is, I wouldn't call it stupidity, because you know you've got to try. But what needs to happen is, if you want to successfully, you know, do something, it has to be not against AutoTrader, but it has to be something different to AutoTrader.
Yeah.
Now, as an advertising force, they have spent billions, you know, to get to where they are. So for someone to come with £200,000, 300, but with £5 million, it doesn't even scratch the surface when you're comparing apples with apples.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think if you've got something that does something a little bit different to AutoTrader, then I think you're onto something.
For the dealers that are going to be going through this cancellation, they obviously, a lot of them may be going in blind, just almost following a crowd. Some of them might not be. What do you think the main other avenues out there are that could save them during this time of lowering their package for months on end on a platform that they may have relied 80, 90% of their stock on, but they've never been able to find out because they've never lowered it or cancelled it before?
I think it's going to be your social media presence is going to be very, very important.
Yeah.
Because you haven't got someone shouting out your name anymore. You haven't got AutoTrader projecting your business.
Yeah.
It's all about you projecting your own business. And in a sense, I think that's a better way of doing it, because you're growing your own brand rather than paying for someone else's brand to get bigger. You know, all this money that we pay into AutoTrader, we're making them bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Feeding them with all the data that they need for them to capitalize on it, basically. And that's what they have done. They've almost bitten the hand that feeds them.
Yeah. Well, I said before, I think people were very scared to jump into social media because their other packages of advertising were so high. But there's almost like a slight brainwashing to AutoTrader that anything else couldn't work because it's all they've ever known. Obviously, the new generation, I think, is slightly different to that, and they're more open to starting social media. But more than building a brand as a dealership, I think the personal brand is what's going to eventually keep people alive and end up being what people recognize them for. It's not the actual, your name of your dealership, your logo, things like that.
No, it's a face.
It's the person, and there's a big difference between brand and personal brand.
We get this all the time. I used to be, you know, I'll call myself a dinosaur because I didn't really believe in Instagram and Facebook and all the rest of it. And it's taken us close to a year, I'd say, for us to see some results. But now I can honestly say that I'm starting to see some traction.
Yeah.
And the social media side of it isn't just going to happen overnight. No one's going to recognize you overnight. It takes great effort, and it has to be consistent, and it has to be a daily occurrence. And everyone in your dealership and in your business needs to be speaking about it and shouting about it. Because if it's not you putting your face on camera, which I would 100% recommend, by the way, because the amount of customers that we get, and you know, the first phone call is, you know, it's so-and-so, and they're like, oh, we've seen you on video, we know who you are. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you hear that, your confidence changes, because the barriers are down already. They know who Mario is, they know who Dan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've seen his videos. Therefore, they half trust them straight away. So then what has to happen for them not to buy a car is you've got to give them a reason not to buy the car. Because these customers know what this car is. Yeah, they know where they're buying from, because you've got all these, what they call the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they know who they're buying from, which is the most important thing, because they've seen so many videos and the reviews mention the names. So if you can't grow your own personal brand, I think you're going to be left behind.
That's what I've said for months. People that say they don't care about brand and branding doesn't matter. You are constantly paying for someone else's to advertise your cars and be seen.
Whoever says that is categorically wrong. Your branding is what you've got. Your branding is what you're going to be left with.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the perfect example. You've got two trainers on this table. They're both white, they're both made out of leather. One's called Adidas, and the other one's called Arribas. Okay? They both cost the exact same money to make. They look the same, but people will buy which one?
Adidas, because it's brand.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Exactly. They don't care who Arribas is. They don't care if it looks right. It's about what's important to them. And do you know what? They'll pay £5 for this, but they'll pay 50 quid for the exact same product.
Yeah.
So I could have a car out there, a Mercedes C-Class, I don't know, for £20,000, yeah? And Joe Blogs round the corner will have the exact same car, £2,000 cheaper. And I will almost guarantee you that they will come to me because I've built my brand, yeah? They know from my reviews that if something goes wrong with their car,
Yeah.
they've got somewhere stable to come back and make a complaint or ask to speak to someone who's going to help them, and they know that they're going to get that.
And that's because of you, not because of AutoTrader, because those two cars will look exactly the same on that website. You have to delve
Correct.
deeper into each of their websites, each of their stock profiles, and what's behind the business.
That's correct. Is there any substance? Should I buy the more expensive one? People like peace of mind.
Yeah.
And if they know who they're dealing with, they have got peace of mind.
Yeah.
If they're dealing with someone who's on a backstreet garage, doesn't care about his brand, doesn't care about what his cars look like, doesn't care about anything other than how he's going to sell his next car, eventually they'll get found out.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll buy, I'm not saying they're not going to sell any cars, because price does sell cars, but it doesn't guarantee return customers. You'll sell them one car, that's it.
Yeah.
We don't try and sell one car. We try and sell you your first, second, third, fourth, and your forever cars.
For life.
Correct.
And then the rest of your family, yeah.
Friends, family, things like it's all about growing, all about getting all your little, hooks together and tying them together. And you might have a part exchange that's just come in, and you've got a really good relationship with John,
Yeah.
who bought a C-Class 2 years ago, and John mentioned to you that he wanted a Mustang, and you've just brought this Mustang in part exchange.
Yeah.
You remember John,
Cool.
because you keep in touch with John. John's been watching your brand. He's been commenting on your Facebook every now and again, so he's always active on your mind.
Yeah.
So as soon as that Mustang comes, you'll give John a ring. John, you remember a couple of years ago when you said that when the right time comes and you want a Mustang?
Yeah.
And the chances are he already trusts you. He sees you. He's been watching your videos for the last 2 years, so you know that you're not going nowhere. You're staying there.
You don't get the same questions and objections you'd normally get with someone who doesn't know who you are.
Correct.
It's just, I know Mario, it'll be fine. They're going to look
Correct.
after
That
me.
is 100% correct, and I've heard that said so many times in the past.
Yeah.
I know I don't need to ask you that, Mario, because I know it'll be right.
What do you think could be the best case and the worst case outcome of the cancellation?
So another way I would ask that question to myself is, what am I hoping to achieve by reducing my package or cancelling my package? So I think the best case scenario is people will understand that AutoTrader doesn't hold all the answers. Okay, so your people were spending, let's not go stupid with numbers, the people were spending say £5,000 a month on AutoTrader, are now spending 1,200 quid with AutoTrader.
Yeah.
And they're spending another 600 quid here, 500 quid there, and whatever. So the total cost from £5,000 has come down to £3,500, but they're still getting the same exposure and selling more cars because they've found different avenues. I think that's probably going to be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Now, the worst case scenario, I don't think there is a worst case scenario.
We're going to find out, and finding out is a positive, whether we go back or we don't.
Personally, I don't think you can get anything negative out of this, because, the worst thing that could happen in my eyes is you've missed out on a little bit of exposure through AutoTrader. But ultimately, if you've got the right people doing the right job,
Yeah.
they can stock rotate. Do you know what I mean? So if you had 100 places in AutoTrader and you've got 120 cars in stock, as soon as one car's sold, you replace it.
I've seen a lot of people do that anyway. There's a lot of loopholes and tricks with the platform that people seem to be using.
Yeah, it's not really a loophole. It's just being savvy. Do you know what I mean? Why would you have a sold car advertised? It's
Yes.
stupid. And I think sometimes when you've got these big AutoTrader packages and you're advertising more cars than you've got in stock, you can sort of like sometimes lose touch, if you know what I mean. So you think, oh well, they're advertised anyway, just leave them.
Yeah.
Whereas when you haven't got enough, when you haven't got enough slots, you're constantly thinking, right, what's next? Keeps you on toes. I think it's
Definitely. Well, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
That final question was a good question, you know.
So let me be clear. There are only a couple of things dealers can do from this point, but every dealership watching this needs to hear this part. Option 1, you continue to do what you've been doing up until this point. You rely on using platforms for traffic, you use their visibility as your brand, you put money into the multiple platforms that couldn't give a solitary fuck about whether you sell cars or not. And I don't think I need to go any further because we all know where that leads. It's led us to this point, so your only other option is option 2. You take control back. Now, that's where we come in.
Looking for a reliable car that won't break the bank? At Select Cars, we spent over a decade of helping people get into family-friendly vehicles at a family-friendly price.
Here at Nova Motor Group, you're not just another sale, you're our neighbour. If we weren't proud to see you around town after purchasing one of our vehicles, we wouldn't sell it to you, we wouldn't be Nova.
Newcastle's most trusted way to buy your next car. Here's 4 things we do better than our local competition.
Now, other than owning the only software in the UK that can find a buyer through a social media ad, we also help build your brand through organic options like TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. We shoot the content, we run your ads, and we give you that one thing that social media companies have never been able to give you before. And that's turning attention into actual customers.
We're selling 3 cars a week on the back of what you were doing. So that's 12 a month, that's 140 a year. That was solely responsible through AutoDriveFlow. So it speaks for itself.
So, I mean, a guy came in here the other day and he went like, oh, you're the bloke off the internet.
Exactly.
And I was like, all right. And then I was in Asda a couple weeks ago and the guy was like, I've seen your face somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So you don't realise the reach that it gets.
Even just that, when they're going to buy a car, they will remember you from that app they've seen you on. And it probably is a game of whoever gets in first will reap the biggest rewards of it, especially locally. You're going to be known as the dealer in Newcastle or something.
Which is what we want. You know, we want to build the brand and, you know, the investment in the business and the property and stuff and the socials. It's just been phenomenal, the growth.
That must make it 10 times easier to sell a car.
100%. The moment we get a call and someone recognises who they're dealing with, we automatically know that as long as we don't put them off, we've sold a car. You automatically feel like you know them.
Exactly.
But we've had that in the past. You know, Dan does some great videos for us, and we get customers who will phone up and say, like Dan will answer the phone and be like, oh, you're Dan.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They all automatically know who they're speaking to because they've seen him do 20, 30, 40, 50 videos presenting cars.
Yeah.
And they see his name come up on reviews.
Yeah.
We dealt with Dan, he was a great guy, blah, 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 blah. Or we dealt with Trevor, or we dealt with Simon, or whoever you know, it could be anyone.
Look, by all means, if you want to stand still, that is completely your choice. But if you want to build something that survives the next 10 years of this industry and gives you the one thing that every single dealer tells me they want, which is a business to pass down to their kids, this is the only path forward. And the last thing, which I think is probably obvious at this point, stop letting another company control 80% of your sales when you're paying them 10, 20, 30,000 pounds a month. This is not the end of an industry. It's the start of one run by dealers and not platforms. I'll see you all tomorrow.